the Clasico, which is practically impossible because first they ended, I think, 4-1.
Yes.
So they Madrid have to win 4-1 for them to, if you talk about head-to-head, because in La Liga they do head-to-head, they don't do goal differences. So they do head-to-head in La Liga. But for now, Barcelona stay top of the La Liga. We're going to talk about that game and other games that happened yesterday. Good morning, guys. Welcome to Vote Sports on Vote 104.3 FM. My name is Godwin, and I'm here with John to discuss the La Liga, the Champions League. Good morning, John. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Good morning, football maniacs. Welcome to another exciting show. Today is Champions League football, and I'm excited for the games we have today.
We're more excited for tomorrow's game, but today we'll tomorrow's game, so we'll talk about today's game though. Okay, but let's start with the La Liga, because La Liga happened yesterday and Barcelona winning their opponent, Rayo Vallecano, by 1-0. Lewandowski scoring the only goal of that game. Was a penalty in the 28th minute. There was a little bit of controversy in that game when Rayo scored, but they ruled it out of so many things we are talking about that, and we're going to look into that game. But generally, John, after being 10 points behind Real Madrid, everybody was thinking, okay, once Real Madrid have 10 points ahead of you, nothing else will happen. But somehow Madrid started losing points. At some point, Barcelona was about 7 points ahead of Real Madrid after that thrashing. They started falling off, drawing games, losing games. Real Madrid recovered those points and was stopping them, and then it was about 10 points at this point. Now, just this year, Barcelona is top of the league.
I find it refreshing how when Barcelona is topping the table, people are saying, Real Madrid will knock them out, this one and that one. And we saw the knockout. And then when Real Madrid is the one up there with same number of points, they are saying, Barcelona can never recover, they cannot win their games, they cannot do this, they cannot do this. It's fine to see because, this is football, and football keeps teaching us every day more reasons why the more things change, the more they remain the same. Because at this point in time, Barcelona is back at the pinnacle of the La Liga, and we are seeing them doing it because they've had a very strong season, good team together. I keep saying it since the beginning of the season that we are going to see a Real Madrid side that could possibly capitulate this season because of the problems they've been having defensively in their team. And you saw the draw over the weekend. You saw the charges by the referee on Jude Bellingham and the statements coming out of the Real Madrid. I think at a certain point in time, there was a headline saying that Real Madrid is considering leaving the La Liga. I was like, bro, it's not that
They're
deep.
not going anywhere.
It's not that deep, man. It happens to other teams in the La Liga, and just for the first time, it's coming your way. You cannot even stand the flag, but it's fine. Good one for Barcelona yesterday.
Good one for Barcelona. They are top of the La Liga. But if you look at that game in general, I think Hansi Flick had done well with these boys. Even though they have a whole lot of senior teams playing in that squad, especially Lewandowski, that is the highest goal scorer in the La Liga. Yeah. I think the way he has managed this team this season, good. I like him. He moved away. Sometimes I like coaches that can take risks.
Of course.
He moved away from the whole tiki-taka stuff that Xavi was trying to bring back. He brought back like a balanced football. When it's time for you to play counter-attacking football, play counter-attacking football. When it's time to hold possession, for in this game they held more possession, 60%. That means they have played their opponent.
Yeah.
But they balanced the team. Flick has balanced this team very well. They score even more goals in counter-attacking football. I can remember when Pep was their coach, or even when the next coach Enrique took over. When they recover the ball, they hold on to the ball. When their opponent goes back, they'll start building from the back again, even though they were scoring goals. But this one, Hansi does not even bother. If there's a space for counter-attacking for Omo, take it.
Why not? I like to talk about managers that know their onion. There's a difference between conforming because this is Barcelona and Barcelona must play tiki-taka. It's not written anywhere. You are giving the club, you are giving the reins at the club for a reason. Go out there and ensure that Barcelona are the most successful club in the league and around Europe. That's the thing. If you want to achieve it by tiki-taka, fine and good. But go around Europe and name me one other team that's playing tiki-taka right now.
Nobody else.
Nobody's playing. Football has moved on.
Everybody won all their Champions League games with counter-attacking football, basically.
Football has moved on, man. We don't have the likes of the Xavi. We don't have the Iniesta. We don't have the other guys in that sector. Yes. And why would you have a squad that has a Rafinha, a squad that has a Yamal that can run for days, and you want to now come and form tiki-taka because this is what is supposed to be for Barcelona? I think one of the biggest plaudits you are going to have to give Hansi Flick is that he hasn't signed his own type of players. He's been forced to work with the guys at the club, and they are getting good results. For crying out loud, he needs his flowers, and I think he's going to get it this season.
Okay, let's talk about this particular incident. Rayo equalized, but the referees were saying that the player was in offside position when
Yes.
that ball was kicked, but he didn't score the goal. In the Premier League, I don't know their particular rules, but what do you think? Do you think that it was a foul or an offside in that particular goal they cancelled?
Yeah, when you are in an offside position, the question is always going to be, did you make a move
That's
for
the,
the
but the guy
ball?
didn't even move. He was just standing there. But even though he was actually obstructing Barcelona defender to go
Mm-hmm.
and tackle for the ball. So they were looking at all those incidents, him blocking off a defender trying to track back to defend that goal.
If he was not a nuisance and he was just standing in his place, if he was not a nuisance, if he was his presence was not helping the opposition get a goal advantage, then we can say yes, he wasn't a nuisance. But if he was and he interrupted
He
somebody,
was actually
and
blocking somebody.
then you have to
Read,
give it offside.
I have to go back to read that rules that if somebody is an offside position in the La Liga and he's obstructing play of any kind, he's going to give it as a foul. So, but us that are Premier League fans, we don't see that. Once a player is offside, but even if he's offside and another player runs in to score the goal, we just consider it as a goal. But the different rules in the La Liga. But that goal was cancelled, and Barcelona went on to win that game 1-0. So if you look at the La Liga table, Barcelona stay first with 51 points after 24 games. Real Madrid is second with 51 points, the same point with Barcelona. Then
Yeah.
third is Atletico Madrid, and fourth is Atletico Club. But if you look at this title race now, these three guys, 1 point separating first to third. Barcelona with 51 points, Real Madrid with 51 points, and Atletico Madrid with 50 points. Who do you think will end up winning this La Liga? It's going to be a very tough battle at the end.
Yes, I think it's going to be a tough battle at the end, but let's look at who has better propensity to defend their place at the top. Right now, Real Madrid are leaking goals for days. They are leaking goals for days, and Barcelona don't seem to be having the same frailties. Now, when we were talking about Barcelona at the beginning of the season, my biggest concern was who was going to score the goals for them when Lewandowski was not available, and they found ways to do that, and they are top of the table right now. Even if you were to go by goal at difference, they have more goal difference than Real Madrid. So I think they are in a poor position to. Is their title to lose now.
Is entitled to lose now. So let's see what Real Madrid and Barcelona is going to be doing in this title race, because it's going to be tough. Remember, Real Madrid played 1-1 in the weekend, and Atletico played 1-1. Real Madrid played 1-1 with Osasuna at the weekend, and Atletico played 1-1 with Celta Vigo at the weekend. That's a little bit controversial again in that Real Madrid game when Jude was giving his matching orders. What he said to the referee, use the F word. To the referee, even though that sometimes in football everybody gets angry, just like when you are driving in Nigeria. Most Nigerians don't know how to drive. You have to get angry. It's an emotional thing. Football sometimes is an emotional thing. You use the F word against the referee, and the referee started sending out, and it was a little bit of controversy too. So what do you make of that? Do you think that a word to the referee can probably send the player off?
Yes, a word. If a look at the referee.
Look. John,
yes.
Look. So if I look at you, what you
if a look at the referee, we've seen referees that the most important thing is if the referee's person or integrity is attacked, you are in danger of a red. If the referee's person, his conduct or his ruling in the game is attacked in any way, you are in danger of a red card. And then secondly, if maybe as the ruling has gone against you, you are just exclaiming without looking at anybody, okay, they are saying, okay, you are blowing off steam. But if you are looking at the ref and you are talking to the ref and you use the F word, you are out.
Okay, Jude was sent off in that game. Another interesting thing that happened in that game is Kylian scored again and again and again. Kylian has been scoring, even though he's 1-1, but he's been scoring. Now he has 17 goals in the La Liga, which is good for him. The only player that is ahead of him is Lewandowski. Lewandowski has 20 La Liga goals. So let's see in this battle of top scorer, let's see who, if Mbappe can outscore Lewandowski. But Lewandowski for now is top of this scoring charts. But at the end of the day, Barcelona is top of the league. Let's see who wins. Barcelona has 51 points, Real Madrid have 51 points, and Atletico Madrid have 50 points. Let's see who will end up winning this La Liga, because these three teams they are not stable. That imagine at some point Atletico was leading when they won about 6 games in a row.
Yeah.
Somewhere Real Madrid was winning. They were top. Now Barcelona is back at the top, so it's going to be a fierce battle for the La Liga title. Let's see who wins it. Okay, let's go to our YouTube channel and read one of the comments, because this controversy that happened in that game was a whole lot of talk on social media. If that goal was supposed to be cancelled, if you need to go and watch that incident, it was too controversial for me. I was thinking that, for me, I didn't see anything wrong with it. I don't, because probably because we watch a whole lot of EPL games here. I didn't see anything wrong with it, but an athlete will be saying there was a lot of disagreement with the officiating yesterday. The offside rule against Rayo is controversial. Not awarding PK against Barcelona for Kubasi's pulling Cis down, because it's the same case for Barcelona. He's also saying the offside guy was blocking Barca defender, but I don't know how much an excuse that was. Again, Dani Olmo Arafia won a PK in that match. So a whole lot of controversy. You give a penalty here, the same opponent, you don't give a penalty. The whole lot of incident happened here, but that offside thing was a little bit controversial for me, but I don't know how it's going to happen. But everybody don't talk about that for days. But for days, we can go there, go and look. If I didn't watch that game, go to social media and look at that incident and come and tell us what you think about that incident, because everybody was talking about this particular incident. If it was, you think that they should have cancelled that goal, but for me, everybody, especially Real Madrid fan, was saying that Ojoro don't enter this one, no. Ojoro don't enter this one, no. This goal supposed to be. I saw the statement, I saw the rules. It was a little bit controversial. Again, the interpretation of law can be different.
Thank you. That's where I was going.
Do you understand? Sometimes, for example, if somebody steals, for example, and it probably somebody steals because they are hungry, most times the judge might decide to interpret the law, but find a way to step it down and give that person a lesser sentence. So sometimes the way they interpret the law depends on how the referee wants to see it.
One aspect of the game that we are not seeing is that these referees are human.
They are human beings.
You understand me? So if I'll give you a clear-cut example, you can create an offense, right? You get a yellow card, and then you start talking back to the referee, and before you know it, you get another yellow card.
And you go, yes.
And you go just like that.
And so
it was a yellow card referee. Some referees will just ignore you.
Ignore you and go, yes.
You understand me? So it's all a matter about the person in question and their their interpretation of what you are doing. If they feel that you created an offense and you have claiming rights in your offense, right, they'll give you a yellow card. If you now want to start talking back to them that they don't know what they are doing or blah, 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 you are going to go and sit down inside the dressing room. And that's just how it is. So I think players who try to undermine the referees by talking back at them, especially if you are not a captain. I remember there was an incident in an Arsenal game where there was an incident and the players were trying to go and talk to the referee, and he was waving them away and calling Odegaard forward. And some of them were persisting. Baba dished out yellow cards. So it just comes down to how we interpret these things, and then how players should, because it comport yourself. Yes, we've seen the scenario with Vini too, when he was sent off and he missed 2 games. We've seen it all over, and it's happening again with Real Madrid in this scenario.
Okay, let's see what happens with Barcelona. A whole lot of controversial decisions in that game by the referee, but it's what it is. But Barcelona winning that game 1-0. Okay, somewhere in Italy, let's go to Serie A before we move on to the Champions League. Serie A, the Genoa played Venezia 2-0. Genoa winning that game 2-0. But another interesting game is in Turkish league. Osimhen scoring 2 goals. He scored in the 47th minute and the 86th minute to win, give a 2-1 win against Rizespor in Turkey. Good game for Osimhen, scoring 2 goals.
Good game for him. Like I saw it last night. I saw the goals.
Our guy, he's been scoring. I think it's good game for him. He's been doing well since he moved to Turkey.
Yeah. There's not as much, negative press or feedback from the club. He's doing fine, and whenever he comes and you see him play, he's well relaxed and he's adjusting. There's no rush to the end of the season, and Baba is putting up his numbers as expected, as a big star, a big player. And I think everything will continue as it is until we get to the end of the season, and then we'll make a decision. But for now, focus on the game, focus on performing. Because one of the most terrible things that Napoli have done in that conversation with him leaving the club was undermining his work ethic, that it
Yeah, he
doesn't
works
work out.
hard. Oh yeah, Osimhen
Bro,
works
like,
hard.
it's crazy how they are going, but I'm fine that the numbers haven't dropped from what they were at Napoli. So that goes to show that he's the same player.
Okay, he has scored 14 goals in that league. The highest goal scorer in that league has 18 goals. So he can, if he starts scoring, he can actually become the top scorer in the Turkish league. And Galatasaray, his team, are unbeaten in this league after 23 games. So they stay first. Even Fenerbahce, that's Jose Mourinho's team, are
Yeah.
second. But I think Osimhen is going to win his another league title in that league. Well, let's see what happens with him. He scored 2 goals yesterday to give Galatasaray a 2-1 win
Yeah,
against their opponent. Okay, let's move over. Let's jump over to the Champions League. Champions League is happening today, and I'll give you the fixtures. Tell you the results of the last week games, and we'll discuss of the 4 games happening today. Milan is going to play Feyenoord. That game ended 1 goal in favor of Feyenoord in Holland last week. So, but AC Milan is going to try to wrestle this, trying to change this result in San Siro today.
Yeah.
If they win, you remember there is no what's they called again, away goal rules
no
again.
away goal
So
benefits.
if he ends 2-1 or 1-0, is moved to extra time. So Milan is going to be will try to actually turn this game around. The other game happening is Benfica and Monaco. Benfica winning that first leg away from home, so it's going to be probably more easier game for them to win at home in at their home. So let's see what happens. Another game that is interesting is Lukman's team. Atlanta is playing Club Brugge. The two Nigerian team. Oyedika is playing for Club Brugge. Now, Lukman is playing for Atlanta. I don't know if Lukman has recovered from his knock, but let's see if he's going to play today because they need all their firing squad.
Yeah,
to
it would be
in
terrible for them to crash out.
because they were good. They were really
Yes.
good. At some point, they were top 8, but they dropped off. I think they finished 9th or so.
Yeah.
And they lost that game in the first leg 2-1. So they need to find a way to win in Italy for them to qualify. And finally, it's Bayern Munich versus Celtics. Bayern Munich winning at home, away from home in that first leg 2-1. So they are playing at Munich. It's going to be an easy game for them, but no game is easy in the Champions League. But let's start with Milan game. Milan is playing Feyenoord, and they have a good squad. Their senior advisor, that means Abramovich. If you don't know, Abramovich is not their senior advisor in the club. He retired. He became an advisor at AC Milan. But he was talking about Joao Felix, that if all the conditions are right, if all the conditions are right, they would love to sign him. And because he played 90 minutes, that first time he's played 90 minutes in a very long time. He played in 90 minutes in the weekend's game. Now, against Feyenoord, what do you think will happen in that game? Milan to turn this around?
Milan have no other option, because let's not forget, when if you are talking about legacy Champions League teams, you have to talk about AC Milan. Yes, you have to talk about AC Milan. And it's sad what happened in the first leg. They have to go out there like wounded lions now in this encounter and try to win this one at home, score more goals. Okay, and we have an issue in that side as to who starts on the right and who starts on the left, because we don't know.
He should not start.
He should be starting. He should be starting.
Our guy will not start.
I have an issue with when we have somebody who is on the right flank who is a spinner like Anthony, and who does not produce as much as he should for the team, and you have somebody who is sitting on the bench who for the last 5 games has been producing goals, has been producing assists, is a terror to defenses when he starts or when he comes on. And this guy is out of the starting lineup for Pulisic and Leao to start. I find that funny that is happening. And then, of course, Joao Felix is obviously going to start behind the striker. So I just want to see if this team can score. If they can't, please, the manager should make the change early. Not when it's now 78 minutes and you're looking for a goal like you're looking for air. That's when you now bring Samu to come and do miracle.
For me, let's quickly start.
You should start.
I don't know why he's not starting. I think he should end, even though they have a Leo and
Pulisic should come from the bench.
Well, Pulisic is a senior player. I don't know who is better.
Please, Pulisic is a Chelsea reject. Let's call it as it is. It's just that he went to AC Milan and found a home in AC Milan and has been performing at AC Milan. But this is the game where you need him starting. I feel that Samu should do better starting than coming off the bench, but that's just my opinion.
Most times he doesn't even come off the bench. Like the last game he was playing, I think about 20 minutes he played in that game. But let's see what happens with Milan. Milan is going to play Feyenoord. They are going to try as much as possible to turn this game around. But that means they need to score first in this
Yes,
game. If they don't score, if they concede first, it's going to be a very
a mountain task.
but if they score first, I think it's going to be easy for them. But Feyenoord has a one goal lead in this encounter. They play at San Siro. That game is happening at 8:45. That means 15 minutes to 7 or 7:45, 6:45 Nigerian time. So let's see if Milan somehow can wrestle this league back and win in this particular game. Okay, let's move to the next game. Is Benfica playing Monaco? It's going to be an easy game because there's no easy, even though there are no easy games in the Champions League, but getting an away win 1-0 in France. Now you're coming back to uh, um,
Yeah,
Portugal. You're coming out to Portugal to play
this
the
game
second
now.
leg. So I think
Yes.
it's supposed to be easy win for them, but anything can happen in football.
Anything can happen in football, and let's not anything.
Before you even answer that, let's get your prediction for the Milan game. Who do you think will win?
I'm backing Milan.
We are backing Milan to win.
Yes, to win.
What's your score line?
Let's just give it a 2-1.
A 2-1. If you move a 2-1, they'll go to extra time then.
2-0 then.
Okay, 2-0 then. Okay, let's see if Milan is going to win with John's prediction by 2 goals. But let's see. But okay, the next game we are talking about is Benfica and Monaco. What do you think will happen in that game?
Coming into this game, Monaco are coming in on the back of, was it a 5-0 win or so in the League On? So they are going to come in here to try to get a result. But, these guys have a certain Vangelos Pavlidis, who is a goal scorer. So I am expecting this guy to also go there and score. So for me, AS Monaco have missed the opportunity to hold on to this result and get something from this game. And they are going to be coming in because they are going to need to score early, and they are going to open up the back because they are going to be pressing. And that's where Benfica are going to counter them and get the scoring opportunity. So Benfica just need to conserve. Some games, you don't need to go and fight pound for pound, blow for blow. You just let to have the game come to you and then counter on those opportunities when they provide themselves. AS Monaco have everything to prove, everything to show, everything to try to get a result. And Benfica just need to conserve and hit on the break.
Okay, let's see what happens in that game. Let's get your prediction for that game.
It's going to be a tough one, but Monaco going through.
Monaco going through after losing. Oh wow, let's see if it's going to be possible, because anything is possible in football. 1 goal nil is, it's not that bad.
Unless Pavlidis comes and scores his hat-trick.
Okay, let's see what happens with that game. Okay, let's move back a little bit to Osimhen, because there's interesting news about Osimhen now. Before we continue with the last 2 games in Champions, let's move back to Osimhen a little bit. Osimhen has scored in his whole game for Galatasaray. He has 24 goal and assist in 24 games. That means a goal or assist in all
every game. Yes,
almost all his games he has played, and he has 75 million euros. He has 25 million euros clause in his Napoli deal. For me, every club in Europe should be looking at him in the summer. 75 million is actually easy. I look at Arsenal. Arsenal should go and buy this guy. Arsenal should go and buy this guy. Look at this guy. What is 75 million euros? It's cheap. For me, it's cheap for a player like him.
I don't know if I want to get physical with Arteta right now, because I think Arteta is having a poverty mentality when it comes to managing football. You tell me that you want to find a solution to the problem internally rather than buying players. Okay, for how long can you build a season or a couple of seasons of internal solutions? At a certain point in time, you are going to need to buy.
Yeah, but in the summer, the clause in the summer is 75 million euros. I think every club, I don't know, maybe Chelsea just have to look at it, because they can't hope on Jackson and Nkunku next season. It doesn't make sense. So if you look at teams that need a striker, but Arsenal might be more interesting because Arsenal is going to qualify for the Champions League.
Yes.
Chelsea might not. So it might be a little bit dicey for him to choose Chelsea.
This summer, we have 5 top talents in European football who are strikers available. We have Benjamin Sesko available. We have Gyökeres available. We have Osimhen available. We have Evangelos Pavlidis available. We have Openda available.
Okay.
It's going to be a tantalizing decision to see who goes for what player and who actually gets the player they need. Because let's not forget that Chelsea had the opportunity to make this deal happen when they were negotiating the Lukaku deal.
Yes.
And
Yes.
they refused to make that decision. They wanted cash upfront for Lukaku. They got cash upfront for Lukaku, and when it was time to go in for Osimhen, they took a walk and said they wanted to go for Marodion. From Marodion, they went and got Jao Felix, and we know how the team played out after then. So coming back to the table, is Osimhen going to remember this saga from the previous summer and say, "Bro, I don't need Chelsea, let me just go to Arsenal"?
If you're Osimhen, where will you go? Arsenal, Manchester United, or Chelsea?
I'll be going to Arsenal because if you look at Chelsea are a ticking time bomb. Manchester United don't know their bearing. They don't know their left from their right. There is a fundamental problem there. Everybody who goes there underperforms and underwhelms because nobody can live up to the glory days of Manchester United. There's a serious rebuild that is going up there, and the fans are too entitled. Over at Chelsea, you don't know if it's the manager bringing you on or the board buying you to sell you 6 months down the line. A lot of actions in football are built on trust. And right now, these two clubs have very poor social capital when it comes to negotiations. And that's why they have to overpay for players. Because players are coming there knowing that you're coming here is a 50-50 buying. You can come in, you can stay, or you can come in and you have to go on the next window. So you have to overpay. But when you look at clubs like Arsenal that have given players starting time, that are competing in the league, they are competing in Europe and doing other things, it's an easy sell. You don't need to.
Arsenal creates multiple chances.
Yes,
a game.
you don't need to fight yourself. My only question is now going to be, when it comes down to Osimhen, Zesco, will Arteta leave Zesco and go for Osimhen?
So let's see where he's going to go. Okay, the question now is, if you call us to tell us what you think, if you're Osimhen, where will you go? Arsenal, Chelsea, or Manchester United? He has a 75 million euros clause in his contract at Napoli. So it means after his loan spell finishes in June, he's going to go back to Italy, and clubs can negotiate for him. So what do you think? Where do you think he should go to? Where do you think he fits him to go to?
Isn't it funny that after all the jingoism in the summer, when they were crying for 200 million for Osimhen, now
they have to reduce the price. That's how football works. But let's see where Osimhen is going to be moving. For me, I think Arsenal is going to be a best bet for him actually, because Arsenal is going to be like Haaland going to City.
Of course, because it's a statement by.
Yes, you understand. Apart from a statement by, City was creating hundreds of chances, but they were missing goals. Even though they were scoring, but they were missing goals until they brought Haaland, somebody that can score 30 goals, 40 goals for them, because the amount of chances they create per game was huge. Even though this season they created less chances, they fell off a little bit. But in the past 2 seasons, when Haaland came in, they were creating a whole lot of chances.
Haaland was going for fun, man.
Yes, so I think for Arsenal too, they need that target man. If you look at the chances, Jesus and Havertz has missed this season, you know that Arsenal needs a proper number 9. But when you call us, tell us what you think about Osimhen moving in the summer. Where do you think he should go? Should he go to Arsenal? Should he go to Chelsea? Or should he go to Manchester United? Or you can call us again and tell us your prediction for today's Champions League games. Okay, let's continue with the Champions League. I already told you that Atlanta is going to play Club Brugge. They need to turn this around. I think apart from Bayern Munich, everybody lost their first leg.
Yes.
They have to win. They have to win their home game to qualify for the next round. Now Atlanta is playing Club Brugge. What do you think will happen? Atlanta can turn it around?
It's a very scary game because nobody expected Club Brugge to put up a fight and get the result that they did.
Even though they had a controversial penalty.
Even though they had that controversy, yes. Right? But they did, and now I'm scared for Atlanta because they've shown me that without Ademola Lookman, they can't finish off games. You see them drop off in the Serie A. They are sitting, I think, 3rd or 4th right now.
Yes.
And they are not pushing without him. And there was a conversation that was made a couple of times about when they signed somebody in. They were saying that he's going to be Lookman's replacement and all of that. Bro, how far? How market? So in this encounter, I think it's going to be disheartening for Lookman to be out of the squad. And because he's out of the squad, they crash out of the Champions League, having gone all the way last season to go and win the Europa League. They should at least see off Club Brugge. Because if you can't see off Club Brugge, then Baba, next season, just go and settle for Europa League.
Just imagine that Lookman leave. I think Lookman should leave for a bigger club next season. If a bigger club comes for him, maybe an Arsenal, or I don't know. He should go because I think he deserves to play for a bigger club. It's not that Atlanta is not a big club, but where he could play and show his skill. Because if you look at the way he has played in past 2 seasons, he is a star player. He's our star boy.
I think Ademola Lookman should think twice about leaving Atlanta to go back to the EPL because of his past record at EPL. EPL fans have been unkind to him over his time across, I think, a couple of clubs in the EPL. So he should be very careful about. He should. It isn't a move that he should be rushing. He should just allow the move come to him, and then there are a couple of things that you should demand when moving. He should be a starter.
You cannot demand that. But
No, you have to demand that because at this stage, do you know what it means to be in the top? I mean, let's say top 5 or top 14 in the Ballon d'Or list. You should have. You've earned the right to write your own ticket.
Okay, let's get a prediction for that game. Atlanta and Club Brugge, who wins?
I want
qualifies.
I want Atlanta to qualify, but I'm going to be counting on Charles de Catania to be able to get a couple of goals to help them go through.
Okay, let's move to the last game. Is Bayern Munich versus Celtic. Bayern Munich winning away 2-1 in that first leg. Now they are going to Munich to play the second leg. It should be an easy win for Company, even though, as we are saying, we've just said that there's no easy games in the Champions League. If Celtic is here, that means it's by merit, it's not by luck. They are here by merit, but they are playing this Munich side that they have enough firepower. The Kane, the Olise, the Sane, a whole lot of firepower. Even
you have Musiala there.
Musiala there, so they have a whole firepower to win at home. But if you look at that game, easy game for Company.
Yeah,
it should be an easy game.
It should be an easy game. They are coming to the Allianz Arena. This is not going to be a walk in the park, but you can believe you've done the job in the first leg and go and sleep in this other leg, and guess what? You're out of this competition. So everybody should be in full focus mode to ensure that you come away with the win required to qualify to the next round. Because I think it's going to be a bigger disaster for Company's career and time at Bayern Munich if he crashes out in this at this stage right now. Because one, him not even qualifying in an automatic position in the Champions League, the top 8, is an indictment on him. And now, secondly, crashing out against Celtic is going to be double damage. So I think he has been an exceptional player, exceptional leader. I think he's going to be working with those guys to ensure that they blow this game out and they get the win required.
Okay, let's get a prediction for that game before we start taking calls, because this game against Bayern Munich against Celtic, I don't think it's going to be easy game for Celtic. Yes, Celtic has to fight. Going away at Allianz to win Bayern Munich is going to be tough.
They lost the opportunity in their own home. It was close at certain points of the game, but they couldn't make those chances count.
Well, let's see what happens in that game. Okay, your prediction for this game and who qualifies?
Munich qualifies, man. Come on. Celtic who?
Celtic, okay. For John, Munich is
going all respect to another of my guys, Shinsuke Nakamura, but this guy.
Yes, I think their coach is Brendan Rodgers.
Yes,
Brendan Rodgers is their coach, that former Liverpool coach.
One of the reasons why I love Celtic so much is because of that Nakamura guy when he was there.
Yes, that year. He was a good player that year. Celtic produced a whole lot of stars.
Yes, they did.
Yes, I think I can remember this particular game they beat Barcelona. I think 2-2, it was like they won the Champions League that year, because Barcelona had about 50 chances in that game. They couldn't not just score. I think their goalkeeper was Foster. That means second goalkeeper for Spurs now was their goalkeeper. Then it was an interesting game for Celtic. Celtic normally they qualify for the Champions League, even though they don't go far, because they normally win the Scottish League almost every year. But let's see what happens again in this Champions League. Other good news that is happening is Real Madrid defenders Rudiger is back from injury, and Alaba is back from injury. So tomorrow we'll talk about that, because it's going to be a battle of two giants. It's Pep versus Ancelotti tomorrow. But for today, let's get your prediction for today's game and what you think about Osimhen. Do you think which club do you think Osimhen should go to? Chelsea, Arsenal, or Manchester United? Let's take the first call. Yeah, hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Hello, good morning. Name and location, please.
My name is Odoye.
Okay.
I'm calling from the boy state.
Okay, Odoye. What is your contribution?
First of all, congratulations to Barcelona for getting to the top of the table again.
Okay.
Yeah, it has been long. We've been fighting and fighting, and now we are there.
Okay.
We don't want to lose that position anymore. Instead, we will extend our lead 7 points, just like Liverpool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Osimhen is a good player.
Mm-hmm.
He will be good for Arsenal. But it just depends on Mikel Arteta. If Arteta is obsessed with that kind of a striker, because if Arteta is obsessed with Osimhen or by Osimhen, he would have gotten Osimhen even before Galatasaray got him.
Yeah.
He would have gotten him then. But it seems that he's not obsessed with Osimhen.
Okay.
He doesn't want Osimhen at all costs.
Okay.
And the same thing might happen again at the end of the season. The same thing might happen again. They might start looking for other strikers. Arteta will come out again and tell you that he has seen one striker somewhere. Not even among those top 5 that you people have rated.
Okay.
Normally.
He's looking for a player, the right player that will fit in. I wonder the right player that is fitting in. I don't understand Arteta.
Okay, let's see.
He's making us have to suffer.
All right, thank you very much. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
You know, the thing Pep Guardiola was doing, normally Pep Guardiola last 5-7 years will never buy a Haaland. He doesn't need a top man. If you look at the play he has played for all those first 9, even at some point he was benching Lewandowski. He was even forced to play Lewandowski at some point because he didn't have any other option. But he needed to buy Haaland. And look at Haaland winning the Champions League. So I think that to make that move, you need to change.
You see, there's something called a ceiling. When you hit your ceiling, you keep hitting that ceiling, you keep hitting the ceiling. It tells you that the current squad you have, that's the max of their potential.
Don't think and
you have to just do something.
This first time they work, Jesus. You can't sell Jesus, sell almost all these strikers, and just bought Haaland, and Haaland won him the Champions League first season.
Simple.
So I think Arsenal should be as it. He's second now, probably finishing second again. But you need an Osimhen to probably break through that barrier. Okay, let's see. Let's take more calls. Yeah, hello, good morning. Good morning. Name and location, please.
My name is I'm trying to refer to you guys. The statement you talked about Arteta, I think it is one person.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm an Arsenal fan.
Okay.
Actually, I'm one of those fans who believe that if Arteta leads us first leg this season, he should be kicked out of that.
Okay.
I don't think that at the price of Osimhen, the cheapest dangerous strikers in the world.
It's cheap, 75 million euros.
What are you saying, man?
I'm surprised that Arteta should be dragged. And the comment they dropped after this window closed that they didn't buy striker was that they were looking to find I was like, I don't think this to me is this dangerous more than
Victor, yes.
Really the kind of chances Arsenal create, leave me wondering how could we score up to 5-6 goals per match?
In a big game, yes.
I'm telling you, we create a lot of chances, but finishing is not the problem. Just look at this guy that positioned himself. Just two positions. You need a striker that knows how to position themselves.
Yes.
And finish the ball. That is just what we need. And you see somebody like Osimhen has proven himself right from eventually to really to Napoli.
Yes.
Now, performing in Galatasaray, what do you see want about this man? It's not this kind of a striker. Put him on front there. I think what will happen.
Thank you very much.
I love you guys' prediction. But let me talk about my own predictions about I think Atlanta will beat this people. My prediction to that match is 5-0 and AC Milan are 3-1.
Okay.
Milan going ahead with 3-1. So I think Bayern will crush Celtic.
Okay.
The performance of the first leg. Celtic was football and that, and I don't think they will have anything to prove that in Germany.
All right. Thank you very much. Your number to call is 0706 048 5853, or you can call 0915 570 247. Call us and tell us what you think about Osimhen moving to a club. 75 million euros. I think it's very, very cheap for a player like Osimhen. But John, generally, I think for me, he should go to Arsenal.
I think Arsenal, and I just want to say one thing extra. Arteta will now come after waiting 3 years. They will buy one striker and they'll go and pack, right? They'll buy one striker and they'll go and pack. We finally have our striker. But let's not forget that we are watching what's happening at City too. Look at the impact of Mamouche coming to support Haaland.
So actually, you even need two
They
strikers.
need two, not one.
Okay, let's take more phone calls. Yeah, hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, name and location.
Bonaventure from Soka, the Barcelona fan.
Okay, what is your contribution?
I thank God for the match we won yesterday. It was a very difficult match. I'm talking about the controversy.
Yes.
It's not only in La Liga, like that issue. There is a rule in almost every that when you are in offside position and you are involved in
Obstructing the player,
like
yes.
blocking person or blocking the goalkeeper, then it is offside because of the guy that scored the goal was not offside, but the guy was blocking Hugo Martinez. And
Yes,
Hugo
yes.
Martinez was moving and he could get to that ball. Maybe he could get the left ball. Since he was blocking the game, the team was offside. That's why the referee didn't even go to VAR. He repeated and told the opponent box that the guy was blocking him and he needed to go to VAR.
Yes.
So it was a correct decision.
Yeah, it was
And
good.
for the match of today, the Champions League, I wish Atalanta well.
Okay, thank you very much. Controversies in that game, everybody was trying to interpret the law, but the law, he was right. Even though he was not involved in the play actually, but he was obstructing
Yes.
Martinez that was trying to defend that goal, so they judged it as it's now active. That's what it means. That once you block a player, you block a goalkeeper in an offside position, you become active. So that's what happened in that game. Okay, let's take more calls. Yeah, hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Name and location, please.
Good morning, John.
Good morning.
Okay, Pedro, what is your contribution?
Yeah, for talking about the Osimhen matter, I think Osimhen is a good player, but I don't want to see Osimhen playing mine. It's either he go to Chelsea or Arsenal.
Okay, Chelsea or Arsenal.
I think he will suit better at Arsenal. I'm a Chelsea fan, but he will suit better at Arsenal. I don't want Arsenal to do what we should not go to Arsenal because we go to Arsenal now. Arsenal is performing well.
Okay.
And and about today, man, I think Atlanta, Bayern, will go through.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
And for Barcelona, yesterday,
yes.
that was my initial guy. I think they will still win that league.
Okay. All right. Let's see. All right. Thank you very much. Okay. Let's see. He's a Chelsea fan, but he prefers him to go to Arsenal. But I think everybody can see that the Osimhen can fit in Arsenal if they had built that team around them. He will do well. Yeah, hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Name and location, please. Okay, IK.
This would happen now. It's because of stubborn of honor of Chelsea and Maresca. Maresca don't know the players he needs. To say Maresca push for him, for the talk this team right now. Just go for Felix. Play with side for Leicester. Play with don't push him alone now. He's play with side from Leicester. No, they use him. Because of these two people they talk of us by now. It's not that it's supposed to be used by now. We're talking of a club is supposed to what are you going to do in Arsenal? On the opinion of the place where the player want to go. I don't think he can want to go for Arsenal to do what. I don't think Arsenal want to go there. If they add money to that thing, no one allowed to go to Arsenal. To do what?
You don't want
to play football now.
You don't want Arsenal to win the league.
Now bench you want me sit down.
So, from our part to see how everything will manifest because it's coming to Chelsea. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. He doesn't want it to go to Arsenal because everybody, even the blind can see that if Arsenal buys a correct striker, like a good striker, even they have bought a good striker 2 years ago, they probably have won this league at least once against Manchester City in both times. But they were just, especially that first half of last season, they were just touching, trying Havertz as number 8, and it didn't work before they now switched.
Like
now they causing problems, Sha. Yeah, hello, good morning.
Good morning, Godwin.
Good morning, name and location, please.
Bishop.
All right, Bishop. What is your contribution?
Good morning.
good morning.
I think in your senior case, the problem is two things. One is an Africa. Two is ready. You look at throughout last summer, the snow was available throughout last summer. Couldn't get his love until the summer even passed. But there is a plus somewhere that it can move. Then I don't understand because I was thinking that Chelsea should lose to him. You know why? African players play for Chelsea.
Yes,
they try. It's true.
It's
true. It's true. If you think about it, yes.
Yes, unlike Arsenal and United. In these recent days that we see African players there, during the time of Peggy, it doesn't look their ways. I don't know, because that guy is very good. You can see. But if you look at that, I tell you, whatever we get for Gyökeres ahead of him, irrespective of the money, that shows something. Even though he's paid that, somebody is spending about 300, around 300. That was even the issue when he went to move to the side because Napoli is still paying now.
Yeah, 50-50, yes, yes.
Yeah, I think he is ready. Start, when he wanted to move to Chelsea, but we threw him to N100. I finished the whole thing there. He was a fan of the summer.
Of course he was.
From 300 to 100. I wouldn't do that. If I told you that, if you can remember. That's my brother. I want to advise you to do that. You are good. You don't need to put anything in.
I'm telling you.
If you can remember. And that is like a sign that we don't want you. You can come and play to the 100. You can come. You should disregard.
Yes.
Because you are getting a player like that. You shouldn't top up his salary.
Of course.
Salary standard. That is something because he's in Africa. Having his broker is smart. When you are trying to get weapons, now to reduce his salary. Peter will not do that. Even Chelsea will not do that. They are negotiating to reduce his price tag. Look at something. He's something in your pounds. You will get him. But they are looking over. You know what is being discussed about him. Well, it's unfortunate that I think maybe he will definitely get the club.
Okay.
I hope, but as for good. And the guy is good.
All right. Thank you very much. Okay, let's see what Osima is going to decide in the summer. But for today, Champions League is back. Let's see who wins today's Champions League. Tomorrow, we'll come back here and discuss the other games that happened today and the one that's happening tomorrow, because City is going to be going to Santiago to play Real Madrid in that good second leg. We are going to talk about that tomorrow and give you our own prediction of that game. Thank you for joining us on today's show. Thank you for joining us on our YouTube channel. Remember, guys, we are live every day, Monday to Saturday, on YouTube at Vote FM Sports. Tomorrow, we'll talk the Champions League again. My name is Gordon. I'm here with John. Tomorrow, we'll come back here again. But also, will join us tomorrow. We'll talk about these games that happen today and tomorrow. Thank you for joining us on today's show. See you tomorrow. My name is Godwin, signing out.
Hello, Enugu, and welcome to Volt 104.3 FM, where music meets the voltage. Take a break and enjoy the show.
Alex Iwobi gets the ball out to the left-hand side. The delivery comes in. Oh, it's a great Entertainment.
News and politics.
Enugu State Governor has sent us the electricity bill.
Gospel.
And let them have dominion.
The kingdom of God is within people.
Odinibo.
Awesome programs exclusively on
Volt 104.3.